Hello. This video will get a little more technical about how to organize all these links. So if you've watched the other videos, you've learned how to use Google Forms, Google Slides, and Google Docs, which are all great. But now you have all these links for your students and you need to organize them in one place. So how can you make a quick web page for your students? Now, a lot of schools have a learning management system that they can use. They may use Schoology, which houses everything like a web page for them, so they don't need to use this. You may have a school that uses VCS, where you'll have their learning management system to create your quizzes on and post your video links and things like that. That's wonderful. But for schools that don't, you're going to want to make web pages that keep everything nice and organized for your students. So we're going to use Google Docs and Google Slides to make your own web pages for students. So first, you're going to click on the square on your Google page. And this time, we're going to go ahead and use Google Slides. I'm going to click a blank presentation. And from here, remember, this is just like PowerPoint, okay? So I am going to click on Layout first. So right-click. Apply a layout just like in PowerPoint, and I want a blank one. And I am going to make a super simple, where's my insert option? I'm going to make a super simple table. So I'm going to go to Insert, go to Table, and let's say I want it to be about this many slides. You can always modify this later. No big deal. All right, so let's say I want to merge these three. I'm going to merge those cells and make this my title. All right. I'm going to label this and I can label this week 1. Week 2, week 3, and actually I might do weeks. I might label them all different. Week 1, week 2, 3, and at the bottom, I'm going to label it resources, and I'm going to merge these cells as well. All right, so my resources at the bottom, this is where I will probably put, most schools have a virtual online textbook that you can get a web address for. So I would put the virtual textbook, online textbook link at the bottom. You can also put your class instructions for what you want your students to do. You might put your getting started as the first link. And then to link these pages, this is what we're going to talk about today. So I've got all these, this is like my home page that I want my students to see. So if I want my students to see a getting started page, I'll make that in Google Docs. I will get a shareable link and I will post that here, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So now I've got these pages here. I've got my weeks. So this is my week 1. So this is going to be all of my week 1 content for my students. This is for English. So then I would have under my activities, you may have watch this video first, where you have a lesson for your students to watch on a video. You may want them to read this article after. And then you may have your students complete this quiz, and you may say complete pages 4 and 5 in your digital notebook. And then you can link all of these things. So if you watched my other videos, you know how to make a digital notebook in Google Slides for each of your students so that all of your assignments for your students are in one location. And you can see your students completing it as they're completing it in real time. So you would just highlight this, go to link, and you can link that digital notebook there for each individual student if you made one of these for each student. If you don't make one of these for each student, which I don't recommend that you do, that would take a lot of time and it's really not necessary, you're not going to link this right here. You're just going to make a note, complete pages 4 and 5 in your digital notebook. Your students should have saved their digital notebook with a star so that they can get to it pretty quick and easy. But my quiz, so let's say I've created a quiz in Google Forms. So I'm going to click on my quiz, I'm going to highlight my link, I'm going to go back to my page, and I'm going to highlight complete this quiz, right click, link, paste my link. So now my quiz is there. So I want to put in my video. I want them to watch a video first. I'm going to click on my video link. All right, so I just copied my shareable link for this video. And now I'm going back to my presentation and I'm clicking watch this video, right click link, pasting my video. Now let's say I have an article, a news article that I want them to watch. I would grab that article, do the same thing, link it right here. Now this page by itself looks pretty boring, right? So you want to kind of color code it a little bit. You don't want it to be, too boring. So you can bold it. You can click on this little fill color. I think color coding is going to be your friend here to help make this page kind of stand out. I'm going to bold these and I'm going to make these a different color because they're kind of my heading. And then my weeks and lessons will be one color, and I'm going to make my resources page another color because I want them to realize that these are different. Okay, I'm going to unbold these. So this is a super easy template. Took us a couple minutes to create. You could spend tons and tons of time doing this stuff, or you could keep it super simple. Okay, super, super simple. And this is just going to have your links for what the kids are going to do and watch each week and the assignments that they're going to do. Now we mentioned Google Docs and your pages here at the bottom that you want to add, your resources. So don't forget, you can click on Google, go to your Google options and choose Google Docs, and you can make pages for your students that give instructions. So let's say I've got a getting started page, and I can write up my page with all my instructions here. Now I just need to share it. So I've created a page. I'm going to click share it, click advanced, click change. So now you can choose, do you want it to be public on the web or anyone with the link? I always choose anyone with the link, but you want to leave it on can view. So remember, if you watch the video on making Google Slides for digital notebooks for students and making Google Docs for students, you wanted it to be on edit. But this one we want it to be on just view because I don't want any student to randomly be able to edit our instructions and our assignments and things. So I'm going to choose can view, hit save, and I'm going to copy my link and I'm going to choose done. And then I'm going to go back to my presentation. I'm going to click on my getting started, highlight it, right click link, paste it, and apply. So now my students have access to that getting started link that I just created. And if you have your textbook link for your virtual textbook, you can do the same thing, highlight it, right click link, paste the link there. Okay, this makes your web page pretty accessible. Everything is a link that the kids are clicking on. So it's a one page, one stop deal. So now if I want to share this, I'm going to click on share. Actually, I never titled this yet, so hang on here. I'm going to first go up here to title, English 2, class page. You probably would want to put your name in there, of course, but I'm not because this is a web video. But you click share. I'm going to click advanced. I'm going to click change. And I'm going to say anybody with the link can view. I don't want them to edit it, and hit save. I'm going to copy the link and I'm going to click done. Now there's something else you can do with this. If you go to file and you go to publish to the web, what this does is this allows it to show up right like a web page, and it won't look like this. Like this right here looks like a Google Slides page, right? If you publish it like this to the web, then it will show up just like a web page for your students. It'll come up just this page, and it does look a bit more professional. So you have this option as well for sharing this as a web page. You can publish it to the web. Okay, so this is an option. And when you're here, you can start your slideshow as soon as the player loads. You can restart a slideshow. Usually these are just one slide, so you don't need to have it restarting or replaying or anything. And you can get an embedding if you wanted to get an embed code. I'm just going to say, I want it to be published. And then I'm going to click Publish. Choose OK. And now I've got my link. I'm going to copy this link. This is the link that I will share with my students if I want it to just show up as a web page for them. If you don't care and you think, you know what, my students are smart enough to be able to click on this link and then click on that, they know that this is just my web page. They're not going to be able to edit it. And there's really no difference in what they see, except that with that link that you gave them, I'll click on it so you can see, this is how it shows up if you do publish to the web. It shows up just like a real web page, right? They don't see all those other Google Slides options. So that's kind of the only difference between sharing that link and then publishing it to the web. But since this is your class web page, you certainly could click publish to the web instead of just grabbing that link. And this is going to look a bit more professional for your class web page. And now the great thing is that link is not going to change. So as you edit this class page, you will be able to, it'll automatically show up on this link for your students. So each week as I come in here and I edit this information, it will automatically show up on that same link for my students. I won't need to send them a new link each week as I'm updating this for them with their work. All right, I hope this information was helpful. Have fun with your virtual classrooms this week.